Okay, let's get started on the alternating square knots that I talked about in my last video. You see I got 12 strands here, which I feel like it's actually only truly 6. What you do is you attach them with the lark's head. All that is finding the middle of each strand, putting the two ends together, finding the center loop, putting the loop under, over, and then bring the two ends through the loop and pull it down to where you got two ends equal, and then do that 6 times out of the 6 strands, and that'll give you 12. Alright, to get started here, I said we're going to be doing alternating square knots with a 2-strand center core. So to get rolling here, let's work on this one first. Let's put these kind of together and out of the way over there. You can start either side you want, left or right, doesn't matter. Take your 4 strands. What I do down here is these dowels. I use them to secure my work, and you can pull it as taut or as loose as you need. Put a couple extra on there to get a snuggish. And then, like I said, square knot with a 2-core center. And remember that old thing I said, the right over and through the loop here, bring it there, and reaching around and grabbing it on this side of the 2 strands. There's the first half of your square knot, and then reversing that left, do the same thing down through there. If it helps, you can grab a hold of it like with your hand like that, so that you make sure you stay over that and not mixed up down here. As I do that, come through, toss it over. Wait, I messed that one up. What did I do? Too much talking and not enough paying attention to what I was doing here. Let's try that one again there, buddy. With that, I grabbed the wrong one. You gotta pay attention how to do that. Pull that one off to the side. Grab that one, pull tight, and you got the second half of it. Tighten it down. Now, for all purposes, we're done with these 2 for right now, because we are gonna repeat the same thing here and here. I'll move that one over there. Your 2 center strands. Get them tight. Lock them down there. Run through. First half. Second half. 1 square knot. Pop off your center strands. Slide them over here. Bring the next 2 up. Okay. And you have one over. Nice and tight. And there we go. Alright. Pull those 2 off there. Bring them over here. This is where we're going to bring them together. Slide those 2 that way and that way. You got your 3 strands. Now how we're going to work these is we're going to take 2 strands from this one, the inner, it would be the outer one from the black, and 1 center core, and do the same over here by taking the 2 adjacent white ones, making the center cores now these 2 lines coming from number 1 and number 2 square knot. Take those, tighten them down. Take your other 2 outer strands on each adjacent. You make those your outer strands. the center cores from the two adjacent knots. Tie your square knot. And once you do that, make sure you keep them straight. Those two. And then you just give a little tug, the two center strands, and there you go. And then we'll move those over here. Set these two over here. We're going to do the same thing. Two strands from the center knots. Two strands from the square knot there. Get your two center. Bring it around. Outer strands, tie your square knot. Give it a little tug. Square knots there. Take off your strands, line them back up. Keep them. So now you got your two, you went 3 across the top, 2 here. Now what you're going to do is drop down and we're going to do the same thing. Tie 3 across here. So on this one it's going to be a 3, 2, 3, 2, and repetitive all the way down. If you're just doing a continuous alternating square knot rig. Or you can, as we'll get into later, you can change up what knots you're using, the different designs, patterns, and stuff like that that come out of it. I will say this, some of my best lanyards and nautical work was trying something new with different strands in different places. That's where you get down to the mechanics of the knots, and we'll get further into that. That is a valuable thing to be able to learn how to do, is understand the mechanics of a knot to use it in your designs. Alright, let's get back to what we're doing. So we're going to take all the original 4, moving all the other ones over. There. This jig that I built, a rig I call it because it's really not a jig, I've been doing this for years, and the best thing I could come up with in my mind after using almost everything and anything to be able to attach this end here to I've tried, and out of all that madness came what I'm using now, which is this, and this is I'd say version 2, because the first one I did out of 2x4s and nails and screws. So then you tie your Turk's head here, your square knot there, first half of it, second half of it, pop off your strands, work yourself over, maybe that would do a little bit of tug right there to shrink it down a little, and move all these over here. This thing benefits the back. These, in the way of it spaced out, very rarely does this mess down here get tangled up anymore. Will save you hours of frustration. You're going to the center. Tie your square knot here. Give it a little tug. Make a second half. Half. Pop your strands off. Lay them across here. And last in this row over. And tie your last square knot in this row. And we'll just give it a little tug. here, here, there, and there. Okay. Now you can see how you're going to end up with this space here and this little diamond. It gives you a basic little diamond pattern in between the diamond pattern comes out, but that's how it's going to continuously transition from square knot row to square knot row. And then we'll throw another one in here, the two in the center, and maybe even one more 3 row, another row, just so that you can kind of get a little better view of an exposing pattern as we go. Here. Wait a minute. See, you get thinking on something else, and I've been doing this for years, and I still make mistakes. So at least this one I caught before I got too much further. Goes over there because I want these two. There we go. All right. That one there. Tie this one up. And then come here. That one. A little tug. Get both. Get to. There we go. Nice recovery. There we go. I'm going to have to run a piece of. That one's going to need a piece of sandpaper ran across it a little bit. Alright, set over here. There we go. Save these two. Wrap around here. That one there. That one up. And in. Snug, snug. The other half. Under and through. There you go. Now, what we do is this. Tug, tug. There we go. Those 4, and these 4. And there is our 3rd row in this. Then I said I was going to do one more 3 rows, so that would be 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. All right, these over. Put those here. Go. Actually, not available for now. And then move over to your next center, which is all 4 of the original. And extra length on there. Down. Okay. First half of your square knot. Small tug. Second half of the square knot. And bam. Come down for a second. Get a little tug on those center cords to bring out that definition in the opening right there. Slide them over, and then we tie the last one on this side. let's go and end that right here, because in this project is actually going to go into another part of the video that I'm going to do, and that'll be on the next video drop that we put out here. But talk down, and you can see the developing pattern on the outsides, and then within the core, the center, you'll see the pattern developing there. Alright everybody, I hope that was enjoyable and helpful to everybody out there. So, y'all have a good night. Hope everybody's weekend was good. Time to wind down. Alright, good night everybody.